and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel, and I'm so excited to be here today. I have new budget sheets for you. I have my new annual budget sheets for 2021, so if you're ready to kind of dig in and set up your budgets or have keep track of your budgets for the next year and kind of do a mock and see what it's going to look like next year. Maybe your income has changed or your expenses have changed and you need to do a refresh for a new budget. I have new sheets for you and they're gorgeous. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I do sell budget sheets in my Etsy store, and I will be going through not only the annual sheets, but I also have January's budget sheets here. So this might be a little bit of a long video, but I will go through each listing and you can see what they are. Everything in my store as of today is on sale. And so go check it out. It's called Lisa's Faith Budget Plan and in Etsy, and just go to Etsy and type that in and you'll find me. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to share all this stuff for you. With you. If you're one of my subscribers, welcome back. I'm excited to have you here. So 2021, hopefully a different and better year. It's exciting. It's New Year's, so I went with the New Year's theme. I've seen this theme before, and when I came across the digital downloads for this, I purchased it so I can use it in my shop as well with my sheets. And it's just gorgeous. Take a look at those little balloons and star balloons and all the colors and the glitter. It's just so cute. And it makes me happy to look at no matter what the year turns out to be. If it's good or bad, or just glad to be there. So it looks amazing. I love the washi. I love the colors. And it turned out very well. So I'm very excited about this. This single listing has 20 expenses and 5 income that you can balance for the entire year. If that's not enough for you and you have a lot more expenses or several different income streams, I have another budget sheet for the annual budget, and this is the one I actually use coming up. It's 2 pages and it has 6 income. Oops. It has 6 income and it has over 40 lines for expenses. And the cool thing about this is if it has more lines than what you actually need, you can make notes over here. Put your thoughts down. So when you look back at it over the course of the year and you're adjusting your annual budget, if you need to, you know what you were thinking when you first wrote everything down. Cool thing is, once you purchase this listing, it's yours. You get to print it off as many times as you want for yourself. And yeah, I love that. So this is really cool. So the design is the same for every month or every annual sheet. And for 2021, I still have my 2020 annual budget sheets in my shop. This is just for 2021. And if you're ready to go ahead and start prepping on what you want to put in here, just the expenses, go for it. I've already started prepping mine for next year and excited to do that because this year I paid off all our consumer debt. We are officially debt-free with our consumer debt. We do still have our mortgage debt, but it's the only debt that we have, and that is so super exciting. So we're in a savings mode for expenses, and I will show that budget sheet in just a minute. But I also have 2021 annual sinking funds. Who doesn't love a good sinking fund? I absolutely love my sinking funds. Putting a little bit away every month into savings that's categorized for a specific thing. Like last month, I used my Orkin sinking fund. It was $88. They came out and sprayed the entire house and around the house and outside, and they checked things, and they're very thorough. At least my Orkin guy is very thorough about taking care of my house and my property. And so happy to see that. So when he does that and I have that sinking fund, it feels like freedom. It really does, because it doesn't affect my day-to-day budget. And I just slide that money over into checking that I just paid for Orkin, and it's as if I didn't have to pay it. It's painless. It's amazing. It's freedom. I absolutely love it. So this is me planning out my annual sinking funds for the year. And I love this. The other thing I also love, and what I'm excited to get into this year, is really narrowing down my emergency fund. 2021 fully funded emergency fund. Not just the $1,000 baby step starter emergency fund, which even Dave Ramsey has claimed and said it's never enough. No matter how much money you have, it's never enough because you never know what is around the corner. So, but at least it's something when you need it. So this emergency fund here for annual expenses is very simple to use. I'm excited to get into it. And what I use it and think about when I use this is my bare bones, what I have to pay and what I have to do to survive. That's all this is. And then what it looks like for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then for the entire year. So I list all my expenses that I absolutely have to pay, such as my mortgage, my groceries, my household, my miscellaneous and gasoline stuff that we budget expenses for every month. Then I also take in consideration any insurances we have to pay, any, let's see, what else is there? Basically your 4 walls that you need to protect. Clothing you may need, transportation, car maintenance, car payment, all those insurances, all those things that you have to survive. That's what this is for. Now, I look at this as, how do I plan this? Well, if my husband lost his job today and he was no longer going to get any more paychecks, what do I need for the month to survive? And what can I take out and cancel right away, such as subscriptions to Netflix, or we have Sling and Disney Plus and things like that. So if you have a monthly subscription of something, music subscriptions, whatever, switch to the free versions of those, cancel the paid versions if you can, and you may have to cancel cable. Now, I don't recommend canceling internet because we live in a time where internet is vital to everything we do. So that was something I would keep. I would keep it for our Wi-Fi for our phones. I would keep it for Wi-Fi for free streaming services that if you have devices you can use. So you can still have some entertainment. But at the same time, if somebody loses a job, you have to cut back. And if they're the only income person, then you have to be very careful and take care of your family. So that's how I'm looking at this. What do I need bare bones to survive? And those are my expenses, and that's what I'm calculating. Now, you may have a totally different take on this, and that is okay. If you want to keep some of the luxuries as your subscriptions and stuff, and you want to save up, so if you did lose a job or don't have income coming in for a month, 3 months, 6 months, what would it take to pay your monthly bills, including those things that you don't want to get rid of, such as subscriptions, such as memberships, such as eating out more and things like that. Then yeah, budget that in here and see what it looks like. Is that a reasonable goal to save for? And I have no problem with that, because mine, even though I can go bare bones, I do keep restaurants in there because we just like going out to eat. And I do budget for that, and I do put that in the expenses. So I'm excited to do that this coming year. I'll probably work on these in January and do a video on that. But those are my listings. Each one is a single listing. This one has 2 pages if you needed more lines. And this is one listing by itself, and then all 3 of these are one listings by themselves. And they're in my shop, so go check it out. Lisa's Faith Budget Plan in Etsy. So that's awesome there. Now, moving on to January. Okay, today is November 21st, and I'm already putting out January sheets. Oh, I want to go ahead and get these January sheets out because I'm also thinking about in January starting to do sticker sheets. Not sticker sheets in the sense of planning, but budgeting. Budgeting stickers is what I'm looking for. So So the new design for January, which I'm super excited about because to me, it was beautiful. It was simple. It looked elegant. Is this January blue with it looks like leaves or something. I don't know, with the pops of gold. And I don't know, I just feel tranquil when I look at it. And I thought, oh man, this is gorgeous. And it just really spoke to me and made me feel amazing when I saw it. So here's the Sunday Start calendar. I do a 2-page calendar. So here's the January calendar for 2021. It's already dated. You have your notes section here, Sunday through Saturday. You print this off, you hole punch them on the inside here, and then you have your calendar layout. And I absolutely love this. I can't wait to get into this. And as I'm showing you these sheets, some of these sheets I actually keep out that I've printed and actually use this sheet for the next month. So, and some of these I don't actually use because they're either repetitious or and it's just not my style of budgeting. But I do sell them in my store. So these are instant downloads. All of these are instant downloads in my Etsy store. You get them immediately. There is directions. It's best to do it on a laptop or a home computer of some sort, not your mobile device. When you're in Etsy, your mobile device will not show those downloadables, but it does show the downloadables for what you need when you're on the platform on your computer. So if it's a laptop or a home computer of some sort, it's easier to find, it's easier to download, and you need the hard drive space because these are PDFs. And yeah, that's how they do it. So just to let you know up front, because some people have difficulty understanding that. The instant downloads, there is no physical product mailed to you. There's nothing physical going to you. So here we go. I'm going to put this one off to the side because I will be using this for January. And next is my Monday Start calendar because I know a lot of people love Monday starts. That's just how their brain thinks and that's how their calendars go. And this way you don't have to re-sticker a calendar for a Monday start. So I've already done it for you. I have the dates. I have the same thing as the Sunday Start calendar. I just moved the header as far as when Monday started and the dates are moved. So yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. You have a note section. It works. So I love that. Absolutely love that. This one I will not be using because I don't use a Monday Start, but I am okay with that. So the new product, is this a new product? Yes, this is a new product in my shop. And it's the Sunday Start January calendar. I did not put 2021 on this because it's not dated. It's an undated calendar. You can use this any January you want. You can use it year after year for January. And you can put your own dates in here. That's what the little squares in the corners are for. So I absolutely love this. This is a great option if you don't mind buying a new calendar, but you don't want to buy them every year and for every month, and you just want to try it out. Or you just use the same ones every year, and that's kind of awesome too. It's economic, it's cost savings. So yeah, I love that. And this header would carry over year after year as a beautiful header for your January calendar every year, if that's what you choose. Of course, I will change it up year after year, but I just love it. It just turned out really, really good. Obviously, I have a Sunday Start here, and I have a Monday Start. Looks identical to the other one. Again, I did not put the year on here, so if you wanted to use it every January and you just buy it one time, then it is available. And that is awesome. I love it. It just looks gorgeous. The other calendar I have, these are all 2-page calendars. I like 2 full pages when I write my stuff out for my budget sheets and my not my to-dos, but my budget sheets and just life in general. But I also came up with a single page January undated calendar. Again, you can mark your own dates. Starts with Sunday. As of right now, I don't have a Monday start, but if you're interested in a Monday start, message me in Etsy and I would be glad to put one together and put it up in the shop, and then you can purchase it from there. But yeah, I just thought this was neat, and just a single page calendar might be what someone's looking for. And I'll do one of these every month and see how they go in the shop. So that's awesome. Next I have is the single page listing of the budget sheet. So these are income, variable expenses, and fixed expenses. So you have 4 lines for income, 10 lines for variable expenses, and 10 lines for fixed expenses. This is really good for somebody who likes to separate their variable and fixed expenses, and they don't have, but it fits within the 10 line range. They may not have as many bills. They may be in college. They may be just beginning, moving out on their own for the first time, or newly married early in life. They don't have a lot of bills yet. This is perfect for that. Now, if you've been around for a while, or if you have a lot of bills, I do have a two-page version of this. Here's the variable expenses and the fixed expenses on this page, and you have 20 lines for each. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines for income. So if you have multiple income streams, this is your monthly budget sheet for the entire month that you write it out. And then over here in the corner, I didn't do this on the single page listing, but because I wanted 20 fixed and 20 variable, I just did little notes here on my monthly variable and fixed expense incomes. I love having places to write notes. So as I'm going through the month, there is a place to put an idea or a thought. And then when I go back and look at my budget sheets, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I'm going to do this for next month or next week or whatever. And I keep going back to it. So I have a place to write some stuff down that pops in my head. It's like a little brain dump section. So that's pretty awesome. And I don't label it January. It just says budget sheets. It just says budget at the top. And I did that on purpose. I do that because if you just love the design and you don't care what month you're using it in, guess what? You buy it once and you just print it out every month. As many times as you want. You get to keep the PDF, you get to print it, you get it. That's all there is to it. And that is awesome. So there's the 2-page variable and fixed. And then if you're like me, which I don't use the single page, which is what I'm about to show you, budget sheet, but it's just expenses and income. So you got 20 lines for your expenses, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines for your income. So if you have multiple income streams, there you go. And then if you have 20 or less in expenses, you got room to write. And I love this because I have budgeted and actual, when there's a variance between the two, like your utility bills, it's either higher or lower than the previous month. They're never exactly the same. That's what I do here. I don't need my variable off to the side. So here's the budget sheets, and then I can put the over and under here, and then I know what's going on. Again, I only put budget at the top, so you can use it for whatever month you want. I love that. But this is a sheet I actually will be using. This is a separate listing than the other one. And that is the budget sheets for January 2-page. You get about 46, I think, lines for expenses. And I usually fill it up to about here. And then I make notes down here. Sometimes I go over. If I'm using, I do all my bills and my expenses, and then from here down are like unbudgeted things that I randomly bought because I knew I had enough in my buffer to buy it. So, and I almost fill up these pages every month. So that's just a little crazy, but that's okay. That's how I budget. 6 lines for income, and then you can do your total expenses, income minus expenses right here at the bottom, so you know where you are in the month. So I hope all this is clear, and that you enjoy these budget sheets. And like I said, you can use this month after month if you just love the design and don't want to just use it for January. Oh, these are the ones I want to keep for myself. Then I have my favorite way of budgeting. And if you've watched my channel, you know what I'm talking about. It's paycheck to paycheck budgeting. because you're using the cash you actually have in your bank account and you're budgeting just for that time period. Let me see if I can get all this in. Oops. Hold on one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So I had to lay all this stuff out and kind of get it straightened, and it was all crooked, and yeah, I think I'm okay now. So each sheet is identical except for where it says the paycheck number, but they all have 4 income lines, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 expenses. I knew I made a change in this just to kind of fit the page a little bit better because it looked a little weird just having the 20 lines. So I added an extra line here. So yeah, you get paychecks 1 through 5. All 5 sheets are in one listing. So you get a 5-page PDF when you purchase this. And these are fairly inexpensive PDFs. So you just pay a few bucks and then it's yours, and you can print them as many times as you want for yourself and do your budgets. Again, I did not put January anywhere on here. I just used the design. January is only listed on the calendar because it's specific to that month. Everything else you can use over and over again for every month. I hope you like some of the other different changes I make month to month as far as budget sheets, but they will be available in the store. So, but you can, if you can't afford to keep buying them, then the option is to print them over again every month. So I love that. Yeah, you have your income, you have your expenses, and totals, income minus expenses. So they all look the same on each page. They just change at the top on what paycheck week it is, or paycheck period it is, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to put these off to the side. I use these every month. I don't use all 5 of them. I usually use 3, maybe 4, depending on what's going on that month and the income stream my husband has. The next listing I have, now that's paycheck listing, is one listing by itself. This is a single listing by itself. It's just a transaction log. Sometimes people like transaction logs and they get to decide what they're putting on the transaction log. Whether it is their total expenses for spending, they use the whole thing just to highlight each spending category and then just do like a check register and have it run down. Or you can specifically decide what category you want to name it. If you want to name it clothing, name it clothing. If you want to name it just groceries, then just groceries. Household separate, whatever. You can do this one transaction log, name it whatever you want. Just make a little note for yourself somewhere on here and what it is. Use stickers, there's lots of stickers out there. And you run a log and put your budget on how much you're going to spend for that category. Or you put all your spending in here and then do the highlighter method for each line and highlight what was groceries, what was household, what was miscellaneous spending, what was restaurant spending, what was gasoline spending, things like that. So this is very versatile. Also, this transaction log by itself, you can use it with a spending tracker or sinking funds tracker, savings tracker, things like that, where money comes in and out a lot and you want to track it. It's just a transaction log. It's very versatile. It can be used with a lot of different sheets. I specifically don't use this because I have in another listing that includes this. Now this is a listing by itself, but then I have another listing that starts with this, but also has several other, I think there's 7 total, 6 other budget sheets with it, or transaction log sheets with it. So what I also use is in that listing, the grocery and the household. I really wish I hadn't dropped that transaction log now. Hold 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is the 7-page listing of transaction logs, where I actually put at the top the title of a different category, and These four categories over here, grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, and gasoline, I actually use these all the time. And it takes an entire month for me to fill the entire page. Not so much with gasoline because we're not traveling much, but when we finally can drive more often and we have to drive to an office to go to work and not work from home, then yeah, this will start filling up again. But until then, you know, it is the way it is. This is still the time of the virus in 2020, and it's just been a crazy year when I'm doing these videos. So anyway, moving on. You get several lines here, probably about 21 or more lines, maybe 26 lines. Let me see, let me count. There's 28 lines. So 28 lines, every page has 28 lines for the month. And I have these: grocery, household, restaurant, miscellaneous, gasoline. These are the ones I use. I also have, if you don't separate your grocery and house, or if you do separate your grocery and household, I have that separated. You get all 7 pages, so you print what you want. You don't have to print all of them. Just whatever you need to use, those are the ones that you use. It's one listing. I do sell the transaction log by itself, or you can get it in a bundle with 6 other sheets for a total of 7 PDFs in one listing for one price. And I think that's a really good deal. So you get to pick and choose what you want, and you have variety, and you get this beautiful sheet. I'm absolutely in love with the way it looks. I love looking for something new, and every time I come up with something new, I'm in love all over again. So I'm going to put these off to the side now. Those I don't use, but these I do. But then I know people that wouldn't use the grocery, household combined, and that's perfectly fine because that's how they budget. And I want to help those to budget the way that works for them. The other thing that I'm excited about is this weekly check-in. This is a listing all by itself, and it is awesome. I've been doing weekly check-ins for a couple months now, and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. So make sure it's on the camera really good here. You got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5, and then a big page or part of the pages for notes. I love this because I actually break down each of the weeks in my 4 categories: grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, and gasoline, and how much I'm going to budget for each one. I write it out over here. That way I can keep track. I can write notes on spending habits. I can write notes on whatever I want to when it comes to the weekly check-in part. And yeah, I do videos on all of these budget sheets. So if you have never watched or have only watched some of the videos in my channel, every budget sheet you see here, I have done a video on and show that to you. So if you want to know how I budget and how it works for me so it might work for you, go check out those videos. I have playlists available where you can do just weekly check-ins, paycheck to paycheck only, or just budgeting in general, and you can see all of them. So yeah, that will be awesome. And I love this sheet, so I'll definitely be using this. And then sinking funds. Oh my goodness. Sinking funds. Best friend. So I said you can use a transaction log to track what comes in and out, but if there's a lot of little transactions, so let's say you have a clothing fund, that transaction log would be awesome to use with the clothing fund, where you're logging the individual transactions. Like you have a category clothing, $200 is your beginning, but you spent $75, but some of it was from this store, some of it was this store and that store. And so that transaction log, you get to highlight the categories and then do just the single balances here, so you know what the beginning and end is. If you're like me and they're only annual expenses in your sinking funds and they happen randomly and once in a while, then I don't need the transaction log. I just subtract whatever I did that month. And so usually only 1 or 2 categories actually gets a subtraction amount. Last month it was Orkin. They came and sprayed. So my Orkin category over here, what the beginning was, what I subtracted for the spray and transferred what I do is I keep my sinking funds in a savings account and I transfer it to my checking once the charges have hit, and then the new ending balance. Love sinking funds. There's so many ways to do it. There's so many great resources out there that can show you what works best for you. Sarah Marie with Sarah Marie Stickers has great videos on sinking funds. She talks about them all the time and sets up her sinking funds. So I recommend her channel if you are interested and need a different way of figuring out sinking funds, because she does it totally different than I do. And she has more transactions and it just works for her. And she actually uses hers with a checking account, not a savings account. So when she uses and swipes a card, it's a specific sinking funds checking account. There's so many ways to do it. You can use savings, you can use checking, you can use cash, you can do whatever. It just has to make sense to you, and you have to be able to track it and apply it to your life the best way that works for you. So sinking funds, I definitely will keep this one. This one I'm not using. As I said earlier, I am debt free. I don't need to track debt. I paid off all my school loans at the end of October. Super excited about that. Still rejoicing with the Lord on that one, because oh my gosh, the freedom I feel is just amazing me. I felt free before with using a budget to be able to spend and have a little fun and still take care of my responsibilities. But when that debt is gone and the only thing you got left is your mortgage, it's like, wow, I can breathe. And absolutely recommend a debt payoff journey. This is just a simple tracker where you list your debts, your starting balances, what you paid that month, the interest that was charged that month, and then your ending balance. When you physically handwrite those things out, you are telling yourself, and you're not tunnel vision ignoring your debt. You are telling yourself this debt is important. And it's making you accountable and responsible. And that's what I love about Debt Tracker. Okay, second to last in what I have is my savings tracker, which I'm really excited about. I just started using the savings tracker for the first time and really am tracking all my savings as they come in and out of the savings account by date, the beginning of the account, and then what I added, and I make a note of what that is. Like my husband just recently got a deposit for VA education benefits, and it was just deposited in our account this morning. So I transferred it from our checking account to our savings account, and I made a note, deposit, how much the deposit was, that was VA education in the little corner here, and then what the new balance was in my savings account. So I'm really excited about that savings tracker for this month, because this is also the savings tracker where I'm going to have my or savings account and tracker, my 6-month emergency, fully funded emergency fund will be put. So I'm going to add that to that throughout the month. And then last but not least is monthly notes page. Simple line page. It's decorative just like all the others. Monthly notes, and there you go. And you can randomly brain dump whatever you want to put. If you don't want to put it on your actual sheets, you put it in here. I actually use this every month and it works out great and I love it. So there's that. And that's all I have for you today. So I think, oops, this turned out really well. Look at all these sheets. So excited. Excited about the budget sheets for the annual trackers. I'm excited to get into that. I'm also excited to get into these budget sheets and trackers and stuff. So yeah, these are just my love. I love doing this. This is amazing to me, how organized my thoughts are and how well I'm able to focus on what I want to focus and better the future of my family. And yeah, I just enjoy them. So I really hope you like this video. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.